Hey, what up? What up? It's your boy Derek in the city. You know what it is, man. We back with another video, and today you see I got my OTS T-shirt on, so you know I'm about to talk about Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure you guys seen the interview of 8Ball MJG this past weekend on Drink Champs, and during that interview, you know what I'm saying, they talked about their history in Memphis. Being with OTS. You know what I'm saying? And for those who don't know, OTS was like the No Limit Cash Money label during that time. They helped pioneer and set the blueprint for Memphis. You know what I'm saying? They was one of the first labels that put it down in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? And Ball and G used to be part of that label, and it was owned and operated by this cat named Reginald Borland. Now, the reason why I know, although I stay in the Chicagoland area, I'm originally from down south, and you know what I'm saying, I got to experience and see that whole thing unfold when I was a shorty. And I told this story many times before. I was a kid, during that time trying to rap myself, and I ended up taking my tape to this cat named Stan Bell. He was working at this radio station called K97. He used to have this little thing called Slam It or Jam It, and I gave my tape to Stan. He said it's decent, but he said, man, you got all these samples. He said you need original music. He said, man, I know these kids over in Orange Mound. They work at this label called OTS. He said, I'm gonna give you their number. He said, man, they'll get you straight. So I called them up. 8Ball and MJG just happened to answer the phone, and you know what I'm saying, they asked me what was I trying to do. I said, man, I was trying to get in the studio, because OTS, not only was it a label, it was a studio as well. And they was doing little tracks and stuff and demos for local artists that was trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going over there one day. Ball and G was there. I think they homie Lit Hand was there, Killer B, and Tyrone Bell, better known as Psycho. Psycho was an artist and he was a producer. And Juicy J was there as well. Back in the days when Juicy was with OTS, he wasn't a rapper. He was just a DJ for everybody. Ball and G mentioned a story about Juicy J being at OTS when they did their Drink Champs interview. And they also mentioned Reginald Borland. Reg was the owner and operator of OTS, and they also mentioned Gangsta Pat. Now, when they mentioned Gangsta Pat during the interview, Gangsta Pat was at OTS before Ball and G. You know what I'm saying? I never got a chance to see Gangsta Pat when he was with OTS, because that was before my time. But I have met Gangsta Pat through another artist from Memphis that they did mention, and that's this cat by the name of Freakmaster. That's who I met Gangsta Pat through. And Freakmaster, during that time back in the days, he had a hit song too called "Give Me What You Got," and a lot of you guys may have heard Chingy reference Freakmaster and his song right there when he said, "Give me what you got for a pork chop." Well, that's Freakmaster's song. That's a bar that came from Freakmaster's song called "Give Me What You Got." Now, OTS, they had a lot of other different cats that Ball and G mentioned too. They mentioned Pretty Tony. He had this song called "Get Buck," and they also mentioned Al Capone. Now, Al Capone was a part of this group at the time called Men of the Hour, and that my boy Psycho, better known as Tyrone Bell, he was part of that group as well. MJG was about to mention that in that Drink Champs interview, but he didn't get a chance to do it, because when he said Men of the Hour, he was about to mention it. He ended up getting cut off. But you know what I'm saying? OTS, they had a lot of different cats that came through that label, and also Tila, I think he came through that label too. But that was a little bit before my time, because when I came to OTS, it was just Ball G, Lil Hand, Killer B, and Psycho, and Juicy J. I think Radical T was over there as well. But like I said, that was before I came over there. Ball and G, they also mentioned the days of going to Suave House. They told the story how they left OTS and ended up going to Suave. Now, my recollection of the story was Now they mentioned a different thing in the interview, but from what I know, you know what I'm saying, when they got hot with their song "Listen to the Lyrics," which a lot of people call "Listen to the Lyrics of a Pimp," when that song blew up in Memphis, I felt, you know what I'm saying, I thought they caught the attention of T Money, and he ended up coming to OTS and ended up approaching them about leaving and coming to Texas with him. That's how I thought they got up with Suave House, but they said that one of their childhood friends, somebody they went to high school with, knew Draper, and you know what I'm saying, they made the connection that way. But I didn't know that story. But you know what I'm saying, Ball and G, you know what I'm saying, they did a lot of great things when they was at Suave. That's when I felt they put on they best music. You know what I'm saying? They dropped their album Coming Out Hard. They dropped their second album On the Outside Looking In. On Top of the World was their third album. Of course, they dropped their solo albums. They mentioned in the interview called Lost, that was Ball double album, his solo album, and MJG dropped No More Glory, which was his solo album. And then I think In Our Lifetime was the last album they dropped on Suave. And then, they ended up going independent for a minute, I think with, I forgot the label, but you know what I'm saying? And then eventually they ended up getting up with Puff over there with Bad Boy, and they mentioned that story as well during the Drink Champs interview. So, that interview, man, it was well deserved, man. You know what I'm saying? They got a chance. To me, that was their best interview ever, that I've seen them do over 30 years, you know what I'm saying? Because they sound relaxed. Of course, they was drinking and smoking. And Noriega, you know what I'm saying? He showed them a lot of love. He gave them their flowers, you know what I'm saying? But, they also talked about the Hustle and Flow movie that they wished they would have reached out to them about being in that movie, because they reached out to so many other different cats from Memphis. 3 6 Mafia had involvement with the movie. Of course, Al Capone, he wrote a couple of songs for the movie, like Whoop That Trick, you know what I'm saying? And then, a few other guys from Memphis was involved with the movie. And then, they also mentioned they also got a TV series that they trying to drop called The Mound, you know what I'm saying? So I guess they've been looking at 50 Cent, what he been doing with the Power Universe, with the whole BMF series. So I guess they're going to try to do something like that as well. I don't know if they're going to put it on Tubi or how they're going to do that, Netflix or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I'll be looking for that, because I know at one time they were supposed to be dropping a movie called Coming Out Hard, but that movie never came out. I don't know if it's still going to come out. I heard it was shot and finished, but I guess we're going to get this. They're going to try to drop this TV series, and it's called The Mound, so I'm going to be looking out for that. But yeah, man, I just want to share my thoughts on the interview. I thought that interview was well deserved, man. You know what I'm saying? That, like I said, that's one of the best interviews Ball and G that did, you know what I'm saying, that I know of. And, it was good to see Noriega get them their flowers. And, they showed a whole lot of love to Memphis. And, you know what I'm saying, I just thought they didn't get a chance to mention Psycho, which I felt he was one of the ones they should have mentioned in that interview, you know what I'm saying, especially with all the history that they had with him. But, it was still good, you know what I'm saying. They got to mention a whole lot of other different cats, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's it for me. I just want to drop this little video for you guys. Until next time, it's your boy Derek in the city saying peace.